So, as per some requests, I will try and keep this brief, and I'm going to continue in English. Um, because my friend says it's quite profound, you've got to share this so I can share with other people. What I was doing this morning was just a reflection that I do in life generally. So this morning I woke, the fog was horrendous. Horrendous. You couldn't see anything. So I was reversing out, and I reversed into a neighbor who had parked in the wrong side. I scraped the car. Neighbor was asleep. I could go banging on the door, waking neighbor, screaming, shouting, which would have been my natural inclination. Earlier on, that's what I would have done. Then I'd have fretted. I would be late, rah, 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 waiting for the neighbor. But today, in hindsight, in honor of the growth that I have undergone, I went straight to my car, pulled a notebook, wrote my letter. I was writing my number and a simple note, but I noticed the caretaker had come out. So I called the caretaker. I gave him the number and I said to him, give it to the neighbor. I'm off. Did not waste a minute there. It was done. Look, I have a scratch on my car, but that can be fixed. Anyway, I drove off. The drama hadn't actually started from there. The drama started around 5:30 when I woke up because I've got two kids who need to be in school today. They went to have their COVID test and I asked for a VIP service. The guy says, no problem, I'll do a VIP service. But obviously, he did a VIP service for my son and forgot that I brought in two kids that he registered who both needed to be. Yeah, there were two kids, both registered with the same person, but one got the VIP service, the other one didn't get the VIP service. So I woke up this morning with the stark reality of one child not going in. And in fact, as of 10:20 this morning, the results for the second child still hasn't made an appearance. She's negative, but there's no test results to say. I will not send her to school. Personal choices, and really the only choice. That means everything I had planned to do for the day now has to be rigid because I've got a young lady who doesn't quite fancy being on her own in the house. I didn't want to stay in the house. I wanted to come out to the cafe to work and to chill with some friends. So my day needed rejigging from the beginning. So that was it. And I thought, okay, fine. You dress up. We would drive to school. If between here and school I get the COVID test, you go in. If I don't get the COVID test, you stay with me. Okay. In reversing out, I scraped the neighbor's car. Okay, so it's a terrible morning, ordinarily, in my life. Ooh, that would have been a great thing for the negative side of me to feed on and to decide today is the worst day of my life, blah, blah, blah. And I would start fretting and sweating, and because of that, I would make even more mistakes. But I decided, you know what, if the neighbor decides that he wants a new car, we would even discuss that, whenever. He wants to go down the insurance route. I have insurance. I've never claimed. I've been here quite a while, never claimed on anything. Okay, fine. So somebody claims on an insurance. That's what you pay insurance for anyway. Okay, so I'm going through all these. We hit the road and the fog was this thick. You could barely see anything. I missed my turn about 3 times, and on each occasion, redirect. Sometimes it took a while before the redirect happened, so I used my instincts. Some of them were right, some of them were wrong. Relaxed. Eventually we get to school, and it's only the son who can go in, so we drop the son off and I'm left with the daughter. So the daughter and I have a decision to make. We could brave the fog and try and get back home. Why? She didn't want to go home. I didn't want to go home. So we thought we'd come to the cafe. We checked. The cafe would open at 9 o'clock. This was at maybe 7:30. Okay, let's say 8 o'clock-ish. So I parked. She got in her class with my hotspot. It was wasting my data. But don't I pay the data provider so you could use the data? And if she used all of my data, and I needed to buy more data, and that's exactly what I would do. I said to myself. So she hooked up my data and she joined her class, and I sat for maybe half an hour, 45 minutes, and chilled. I didn't really do anything, nothing. Just listened in on her class, so I could hear the interaction between her and her teachers and whatnot and watch her a little bit, you know me, which was great. And then when the fog settled a little bit and the cafe was open, we drove down. Idea of the cafe is that she can have Wi-Fi, we can chill. We actually sat in a great little corner with a lot of sunshine. She's finished her morning round of classes. She's just gone for refreshments. We have had breakfast, and actually, this breakfast has reminded me of a few things. So this is gluten-free bread with some seeds and stuff. I can no longer eat normal bread because I'm trying to now not just manage my cholesterol, I'm also managing my sugar levels as well. Because I told you I had the tendencies for them. It turns out it's in to the fore now. And I've got to manage both cholesterol and sugar levels right now. So the bread is gone. I've been eating like a bird the whole week. It was getting boring. So sitting in the cafe and watching what they've given me, the pestos that we got with these breads, big break from what I've been eating. Exceptional morning. So see, what started off as a terrible morning, what could have continued to be a horrible day, because we've seen major events which have not gone my way. Are today not as impactful as they would have been before, because I have learned to accept what comes. I have learned to acknowledge that you win some and you lose some. And when you lose it, people lose some. When you win, you take it graciously. When you lose, you take it graciously on the chin. And so Missy Moore and I sat in this little corner.
Can I clear this one?
Yes, please. Come sit with me for a minute, miss. Yeah, you. Which other mess do I have on the table with me? Come sit here. And let me get your opinion on this morning and the great shenanigans of it. Don't know. Can anybody see Missy Moore? Yeah, there we go. No. You're out.
Pardon?
It only flashed for a second.
Yeah, no, but like still. You kind of don't want to die.
Okay, fine. I was asking, so how has the morning been so far?
Fine.
It's been fun. What made it fun?
Sitting in a cafe.
Sitting in a cafe instead of the house. I thought you wanted to go to school.
Not really.
Excuse you. You're supposed to be jumping up and down about going to school.
No.
Hey, school! No? Lovely. Right, so cafe, accidental choice. Didn't really originally plan to come here. This woman is supposed to be in school. She's not allowed in school because apparently she's illegal. But in response to what would have been a terrible morning of a lot of stress, I think we've actually ended up on the better deal, I think, in comparison to Nana. He got to go to school. Good for him. She didn't go to school. We got to sit in a cafe and still win. Good for her. Win-win. Do you want to eat some more? Yeah, sure. Yeah. And yeah, I'm trying to point out something I have learned anyway. Finish eating.
Bye.
Bye. I'm trying to point out what is a big learning curve for me. It's a great learning point for me. And what was that?
Dropped my Bible.
Phew. There's a lot of sunshine coming from behind me, and it's.
You look like an angel.
I know. I look like a lion angel. I'm trying to imitate the Lion King.
No.
No? Kid, you just broke my heart. Yeah. Let's continue. Let's focus. Let me stay on topic. What I'm actually trying to say to you is that when things happen to you in life, you have two choices. First choice is to cry and to blame the universe and to say it's not fair and to ask why. Well, you can keep asking why for as long as you choose to. It will get you nowhere because you will get no answer. The answer is very simple. Whenever you're tempted to ask, why me? The next question is, why not you? So the first half of the video, I was telling you about some counselors that I worked with when my dad passed. And I was really upset. And I said stupidly to her, why me? And she says, why not you? Huh? What am I paying you for? Like, am I paying you to upset me some more? She says, well, why not you? How old are you? And I told her my age. And she said, well, most people lose their parents way before now. Actually, quite a number of people lose their parents when they are still in school. And their life choices, life chances, a lot of things change significantly when you lose your parents at that age. At your age, you are independent of your dad. Do you depend on your dad for anything? Like, no. Have you learned as much from your dad as you possibly can? And she answered herself rhetorically, yes. Does it upset you that he's gone? Yes. But have you had a better deal than most? Yes. And in fact, that forced me to acknowledge that, yeah, what was a terrible event was actually not the end of the world. And it could have come at a different time. It's inevitable. It would happen at some point, sooner, later, whenever, but it would happen. Well, the only other reason why it might not happen to me is if I died before he did, which would be even worse because it would break his heart, blah, blah, blah. So having gone on that journey and thought about that a little bit more, I realized, you know what, when good things happen to me, I don't pause for a second, I don't bat an eyelid, I accept it as the way things are, and I carry on my jolly old way. A lot of the times I don't even pause, I just take it as the norm and I carry on. But when negative things also happen, you have to accept that it's also the norm. It's also the alternative. You manage and you cope with it as much as you can. You don't dwell on it for too long. You manage situations. You do not create new situations because of the old ones. So this morning, as I said, what happened before I got out of my compound could have ruined it all. On the way, we could have stopped and actually tried to get the COVID test from another place. But in the middle of it, I thought, you know what, forget it. She doesn't go to school one day. But she's not physically in school, but she can do distance learning, which she's been doing for almost a year anyway. So, okay, so we chose not to stop and fret in the fog. And thank God we didn't. Because when we eventually slowly made it into school, it was just about the right time. A stop would have made us late. We would have fretted some more. I would have attempted to speed, and possibly the consequences may not have been very pleasant. Dropped him off. We could again have taken straight off and tried to brave the fog and tried to fight it in. And then I asked myself, why? No point. Compensations allow things to happen. In the grand scheme of things, really, in terms of her teachers, no difference. She's still in school doing what she's doing. But she's in school, in a cafe, enjoying a meal which she normally doesn't have. She's a very happy young girl. A much happier young girl than a girl I'd have dragged her along back home. I've enjoyed chilling with her. It's a great bonding exercise. See, in every cloud, there is a silver lining. The question is, do we stop to look for it? Do you pause for a second and ask yourself where the lining might be? My silver lining is a fantastic little breakfast in a great little cafe with other human beings in the background. Everybody seems very happy and excited about life. And for that reason, it makes me also excited about life. There's a positive vibe in the place. I would not ordinarily have come. You see, the circumstances have made sure that I am here. I'm enjoying this. It's awesome. The circumstances may not have looked great. That's the cloud. This occurrence in the sunny little beautiful cafe, eating great food, spending bonding time with my daughter, is the silver lining. I talk about it a lot. Pause for 1 second in the midst of your cloud and search for the silver lining because it's there. In every cloud, there is a silver lining. Search for it vigorously enough. You will find it. Be open-minded about things and you will find it. Accept that the negatives come with the positives, and so you seek whatever positive you can find even amidst the negative. That's your silver lining. How do we manage this situation? How can we turn the situation into a positive? Can we salvage this in some way? Can we make something out of it? And if you get that mindset, a lot of things shift. The perspectives really do shift. And positivity becomes what happens almost automatically. Anyway, it's Emma. It's a cafe. It might not be the loudest video I've ever made because I didn't want to be shouting in a cafe and I need to go back to work. So, as a sister of mine who wanted to share with somebody else who doesn't speak the local lingua is why I chose to do this in English. I hope it's been useful. You can share it with anybody who might benefit from it. And let me know in your comments if you've also come to a similar realization, or is it this video which is kickstarting the journey towards this change that we all need to make. The baseline behaviors, they don't help. They create panic, which wreaks havoc. So we need to override it. Have a great day.